spitting up more with a slow flow nipple on a bottle than with a faster flow? And this is a question that I just got from a mama in my Sleep Deprived Mamas Holistic and Heart Centered Support Without Sleep Training community over on Facebook. So if you're not in that community, please come and join us now. It's totally free. And this is what I like to do. I like to go in and answer people's questions. So this was a mama who currently has a 5-week-old, and she's looking for ideas around bottle feeding. There's a bunch of reasons why she's bottle feeding and not breastfeeding. And in this group, there is no judgment. So fed is best, is what I truly believe. Anyway, mama recently switched her to a slower flow nipple. She was doing a Lanisoh slow flow nipple before, but that was too fast. Baby was choking and dribbling and clicking. And now the feeding from slow flow nipple on Dr. Brown's has been really great, except for the fact that baby seems to be spitting up a lot more. And she didn't used to spit up her after the feeds with the other nipple. So I do want you to remember that she was choking, dribbling, and clicking with the other nipple. That is a key here. And then she is now currently spitting up with this even slower nipple. And mom is definitely doing all of the things. She's trying to stop, take some breaks, burp baby after each ounce. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes she's indicating that her 5-week-old is screaming when she takes the bottle away, and mom is thinking that she's probably still hungry. But then there's this roller coaster of not burping and then spitting up 1 to 5 times per feeding. And she usually takes a 3-ounce bottle every time she feeds. But then sometimes mom is thinking that baby is giving some further hunger cues and is giving 1 more ounce of food or of formula. And so mom is really struggling a little bit because she's wondering if there are other hunger signs, but also she's looking for strategies and ideas to help make sure that she's not overfeeding, which is a very valid concern, and watching her cues and just keeping her satisfied but not overfed. Okay, so there's a lot here, but I want to first point out that baby was clicking, dribbling, and also choking on the formula, even with a slow flow nipple before, which means that there's something going on with the latch. So baby is not able to manage and manipulate that formula and able to do that suck, swallow, breathe patterning. So it could be latch issues so that she's not getting a good latch on the bottle. It could be an issue with the tongue not working properly. And so that might be a tethered oral tissue. So it could be tongue tie, lip tie, or even cheek tie related, which is then not allowing the tongue to reach up to the roof of the mouth when they're doing the sucking on the bottle, which also helps promote the suck, swallow, breathe patterning. Or it could also be due to body tightness, where baby is just not able to get into that rhythmicity of the suck, swallow, breathe while they're drinking from the bottle. And so that could be body tightness. It could also be positioning of baby, and also how you're using the bottle. So there's a lot of things to consider, even just from that little fact that baby was not doing so well with the previous bottle nipple. The next piece of this is that now they have changed the nipple. It sounds like it's even a slower flow nipple, and baby is now spitting up a lot. And without seeing the baby, my first thoughts in terms of why baby is spitting up is likely because baby is actually getting too much air into their belly while they're feeding. And so they might be working really, really hard on that really slow flow nipple. And maybe their latch is not great and they're getting in air, and as they're working to get the milk out, as they're working to, manage and manipulate this formula, and they're just working a little harder with the even slower flow nipple on the bottle. And so mom's looking for some strategies. So I love that you're burping her after each ounce. That's wonderful. Keep trying to do that. There's probably a reason why she's not burping very easily, and that often has to do with body tightness. So there's a few ways that you can get around the burping. One of the ways, it's called the wonky winding strategy, and this is definitely not something that I have made out. It comes from, oh my goodness, there's Lindsay Hookway, but then there's also another IBCLC, International Board Certified Lactation Consultant, who is from the UK, who also talks about walking windy as well. I think her name is Shelley Banks, but I might have gotten that wrong. But anyway, wonky winding is this type of positioning. I think Lindsay Hookway, who's a holistic sleep consultant, but also an IBCLC, she has sort of coined this term. And what it is that you put baby over the right shoulder. So I'm not 100% sure if this looks like my right shoulder on camera because it might be flipped, but this baby is over my right shoulder in real life. So you're going to hook kind of baby's chin sort of right over your right shoulder, and you're going to put baby just diagonally across your body. And then you're literally just going to lean back. And the reason why this is so great is because initially the stomach is very horizontal, okay? And so often, this is the esophagus here, right? There's a little piece of the esophagus that kind of comes up almost through the stomach. And the stomach is very horizontal. And sometimes what can happen is that gas bubbles can get stuck in this little piece. And so by tilting baby and giving them a little bit more diagonal, we're actually allowing gravity to bring that gas bubble down so that it can come back up the esophagus and then eventually out the mouth. So that is one strategy to help with burping. Another strategy to help with burping is literally to just like lift baby's lift baby's cheek. And just see, because sometimes if there's a lot of body tightness in the front of the body, they're not able to actually do that on their own. And by lifting, we're sort of opening things up a little bit and allowing that burp to come out. So try those two strategies for the burping piece. The next piece is that let's see if we can really start to do something called paced bottle feeding. Because the thing is, let's just pretend this is the bottle. The thing is that when we have a bottle and we're just holding baby and we're feeding baby, and if baby is not managing that milk properly, guess what? When they stop sucking, that milk is still coming out of the nipple of that bottle. Versus a baby who is breastfeeding, when they stop sucking, there's no more milk coming out. And so they have a little bit of a break to manage the milk that's in their mouth, to swallow the milk that's in their mouth, to take another breath, and then to start sucking again. But that's not the case with a baby who is bottle fed. Okay. And that doesn't matter if there's breast milk or formula in that bottle. But with the bottle, the milk just keeps dribbling out. And so if baby is not able to manage that properly, then that might be causing some of the choking and the dribbling. And the clicking is usually a sign that there's something going on with the tongue and the latch. So that's definitely something that you want to get checked out. Now, one of the strategies for this is that you can actually, so you're feeding baby, it's called paced bottle feeding. So you're feeding baby and you're just going to tilt the bottle down when you stop seeing that really vigorous sucking and swallowing. And when you stop seeing, when they kind of slow down, you're just going to tilt the bottle down. You're not actually taking it out of their mouth. You're just going to tilt the bottle down and you're going to watch your baby, and your baby is going to show you when they're ready for more milk. They're probably going to open their mouth or try to do something like this with their mouth, showing you that, yes, actually they want more. And then you're just going to tilt that bottle back up, trying to make sure that it is still horizontal with their nose, okay? So just as you would do breastfeeding, so horizontal with their nose. And then when your baby is, stops with that vigorous sucking again, and you're like, oh, okay, they haven't swallowed in a while. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna tilt it back down because then there's no milk coming out, but you're not taking the bottle out, causing them to get all frantic, like, where's that milk going? Where's my food going? So we're just taking a break and we're just gonna do this bottle feeding. It's called paced bottle feeding, okay? So that is going to allow you to watch your baby a little bit more during the feeds to help them to manage some of that milk or formula as well. So that is one of the tips and tricks and strategies to really help your baby to get a little bit more comfortable in terms of bottle feeding. Now, you also are going to want to potentially try to switch positions. So maybe your baby is actually not comfortable in this position in the crook of your arm. This seems to be like the bottle feeding position, but maybe they're not actually comfortable there because there's a lot of pressure under their neck against your arm, and maybe they've got some compression there from birth. And maybe their cranial bones are a little bit compressed and they haven't unmolded, and there's just a little bit of tightness, and that's not actually comfortable for them. So they're not able to get into a calm, relaxed state to feed. So you can either tilt them out this way and feed them this way. Okay. Again, you would just do your tilting here. If that's comfortable for you, you can have them even just on a pillow in your lap on the side. You can have a pillow on your lap this way so that you can kind of see what's going on with baby. And also this will allow baby to dribble out any milk that they're not able to manage, which is great. And you can also try sitting your baby up, sort of facing out a little bit. This is going to be a little trickier because you're not going to be able to totally see what baby's doing, but you can try this, right? So that they're not leaning so much against the back of their neck in the crook of your arm. So those are some strategies that hopefully will get you started. I highly recommend getting some body work done for your baby to just make sure that there is no body tightness going on, and they're really resolving any compression. So I recommend craniosacral therapy or osteopathy. Sometimes pediatric chiropractors also use very, very gentle techniques similar to craniosacral therapy and osteopathy. And so that would be another potential professional that you could go and get some body work done for your baby. You do want to make sure as much as possible that if you're going to a chiropractor or even an osteopath, that they've worked with babies before. Craniosacral therapy also, but craniosacral therapy is a little bit more of a gentler approach, sort of like a light touch massage, but you do want to ask if they've had any experience with babies, and then just do your best. So I'm not sure where you are. If you are in the Burlington, Hamilton area, you're welcome to come and see me. I work at various different clinics, and I also work from my home clinic. So you can get in touch with me as well, and we can get this sorted out. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of information in terms of how you can better support your baby so that the whole feeding experience is a little bit more enjoyable for the both of you. So please let me know in the comments if this was helpful, if you got some tips and tricks, and I'll see you guys all soon. Bye for now.